Who's there?
Orpheus?
Nay, answer me. Ridiculum responsum est.
Questione mei ridiculorum.
Well met, Laurent.
Not but help to think this formality absurd between us. Do you not know my voice?
Aye, but given the nature of our quarry, the precaution is not misplaced. Recall what happened to Alfred at his disputation last week.
To Alfred? I remember more poignantly what was delivered by Alfred to his opponent. He is not the dunce we had taken him for.
Exactly. His argument showed both knowledge and audacity far beyond his precedent. And yet he refused to accept my congratulations. Why? He claims the words were not his own.
And you believe him?
We can't rule out the possibility. Besides, you know Alfred. He could hardly stammer out 2 sentences in casual debate with me, let alone against one whose experience far surpasses mine. Which reminds me, did you interest any of the masters?
Only one, and even he seemed little impressed by our story.
And who is that?
Horatio. It is rumored he has experience with such things in his time in Denmark. You would not think it to look at him.
Don't be deceived by his humble exterior. There's more knowledge of the arcane in one ragged hair on that man's head than the pampered locks of all the rest put together.
Someone goes there.
First you must answer. Ridiculum responsum est.
Taro erote mater.
That's not.
But it is, and in a language you might recognize, which you said you were evenings in pursuit of study, rather than this man's flights of fancy. Orpheus, is it?
The very same. Never dispute with him in Greek. He wields the tongue as if he were himself an ancient and will lose you in a minute. You honor our fancy with your wisdom, master.
Despite your fancy, the matter may yet merit the attention. Experience has taught me not to assume by any law of man, for our systems of reasoning are as yet as imperfect as we.
Is it then true that you have experience with ghosts before?
I fear an inflamed reputation precedes me. If so, then I am duty-bound to disappoint you. What have you heard?
Why, sir, no more than that you yourself are as a thing imaginary, the patron ghost of Wittenburg, as it were, and thereby possessed of knowledge inaccessible to us as corporeal beings. Ha! See how he smiles, he cannot deny it.
I smile because that accusation has been issued me before, and by one not unlike yourself in measure of wit and impudence.
He knows you well, does he not?
Peace, Laurent. Have you no respect for your superiors? You will forgive this dullard, master. You may proceed with your disappointment. What was this rumored experience?
Are you both familiar with the events of 2 years ago at Elsinore?
Oh, how could you not be?
Another.
Many still remember Prince Hamlet from his time here. Is it true then that you were with him during the reign of the usurper Claudius at Elsinore?
It is, and it was there that I met the only ghost I have ever known, twice, and failed on both occasions to draw words from it. So much then for my experience. Now, what is this other ghost of Wittenberg that would contend my right to the title?
I yield to you, Orpheus. It is your project. Orpheus.
Huh?
The master was requesting an overview of the haunting.
Of course. Forgive my wandering brains. They are sorely taxed with study.
No doubt.
You must not think me fanciful in my pursuit of this. Over the past 2 months, I've noted a series of incidents which individually may appear no more than accident, but which taken together indicate a single supernatural perpetrator.
Or matter with less thought.
Most often are reported gaps in memory and lapses in self-possession. Danish students, I've noted, are especially targeted.
What's our way with the shell on his head?
Then there's a matter of the laughter. Laurent?
It was first heard here and then has since branched out to the loci. I have marked it here on the map.
They are most often accompanied by recitations from Greek tragedies, and in one instance, a fleeting apparition. Here in the library at this very window.
It is here too that the laughter is most often noted, almost as if this were the thing's base of operations.
Unresting place, as it were.
Convenient, though. From a window, one may watch the events within and without, and not be a participant in either.
Master, are you all right?
Have you seen something? You look pale.
It is his usual complexion.
It is nothing. I believe your stories have overstimulated my imagination.
He waxes desperate with it.
Laurent, there!
Angels and ministers of grace defend us! Be thou a spirit of health or a goblin damned, thou comest in such questionable shape that I will speak to thee. He does share some part of my demeanor, does he not? In measure of wit and impudence.
My lord, what mean you by this?
By what? Oh, this. As you can see, the heavenly escort you wished me was not so prompt as I might have desired.
I mean, why do you appear here in Wittenberg, and to these my students whom you know not?
Yes, I concede it was cruel of me to leave them like this. Little wonder you do not trust the mad dead prince of Denmark with their malleable young minds. Better.
What do you want?
No pleasantries. Fine. If you must know, there is a treatise I had been writing, which I left with Georg when I was called away to attend some ceremony in the court. What was it? Funeral? Wedding? A coronation, perhaps. No matter. In any case, Georg, gracious man that he is, seems to have forgotten my treatise entirely. It contains some thoughts upon the movements of the heavens which I would not have go unanswered. If he thinks that because I have died he is released from his obligations to me, I would have you teach him otherwise.
Is that all, my lord?
Yes, that is all. What? Did you expect me to appear before the watch at Elsinore, armed from top to toe with solemn purpose? I am disappointed in you. If I could not inherit even my father's earthly sovereignty, what chance had I of following his precedent in the hereafter? His slow and stately march, that gaze which did harrow even your phlegmatic humor.
My lord, I did not expect.
Of course you didn't. And yet you observed,
Observed what?
from the very outset,
I do not follow.
me. You have been aware of my presence here from the start. Ever since my deposition from the corporeal office, I have fought to obtain this haunt, because I knew beyond doubt that I would find you here of all places. Here where once you were wont to hold your strange and solemn watch over the world. Here indeed where we first spoke. Tell me, Horatio, what in God's name has kept you from this place, which surely still is more your haunt than mine? Horatio, answer me.
I live, my lord, at your behest. If I have failed in the condition of this my earthly residence, I would know it immediately in order that I may amend the fault.
How mean you?
If I have told your story poorly, if it is my negligence that has brought you to these
What
grounds,
is this blasphemy? It is an assault to my senses, Horatio. Dead though they may be, one as honest as yourself, so to slander his own image. I could not ask for a more faithful report. Do you truly think that the reason behind my visit?
it was your dying wish.
It was, and I am sorry for it. You have abandoned your window. You no longer pace about the walls or through the lonely woods of a winter's night. Take that from Horatio, and what of him is left? His shadow. But he was hardly ashamed to begin with.
It is not unnatural, my lord, that one should change through one's encounters with the world. Thus do all with time. Why, in my instance, does it cause you such particular concern?
Because I am the encounter.
You flatter yourself to think it was your doing alone. As you once noted, there is also a divinity that shapes our ends, rough hew them as we will.
Horatio, I am dead.
My lord, I am aware.
That screech of divinity to one who has passed beyond the bounds of mortal confine.
Not at all. I would merely recall to such one what it was to look upon the world from the other side.
I see. And what from the finite vantage of your finite wisdom would you propose I do now?
Release Rorcius from your influence.
What?
Though he flies rashly, I would not have him fall.
No, what's he to me?
I thought I might ask you the same. Your antics have troubled him, perhaps, more profoundly than you realize. If you cannot fathom the reason behind this, what hope have I of divining it?
And yet you would advise me in my haunting of him?
Why? Because, even in my ignorance, one thing is clear to me. Though this man may share your temperament, he need not share your fate.
Very well. If you are his protector, then I will leave him. But I will do so on this condition only. See that Georg remembers the treatise I left with him, or else bring it to light yourself. Do this, and I will leave your students be. Oh, and Horatio.
My lord?
Hold yourself no longer bounded to my dying wish. Let this be our new contract. Dost thou doubt me still? Take this, then, as token of my confidence. Here is the drop that I denied thee. Take it, antique Roman, if thou must. Yet I would have thee live to tell more stories than mine own.
Angels and ministers of grace defend us, me! Durant, did you see?
Oh, I know not. Why are we on the floor?
Horatio?
Set yourselves at ease. The spirit is gone and will trouble you no more. Its presence works some disturbance upon your senses.
How long?
Several minutes.
And did you speak with it?
Yes.
And?
You will not hear from it again, nor will you inquire further into this affair.
Gorgias?
Are you not well?
He is still weak from the encounter.
No, Laurent, I am not well. This was my ghost. My ghost. All these weeks I hunted it, and it in return, it haunted me. He would have spoken to me tonight, I am sure of it. But this man, by some dark magic of his own, has rendered me senseless and seduced my ghost away from me.
Master, forgive him. He knows not what he speaks. Gorgias, this is absurd. Not moments ago, you had the utmost faith in this man.
So I did. And see how I am repaid for my generosity. Subjected to witchcraft and robbed of my prize by a very thief in the night. Unhand me, villain!
That will I do gladly. You are sorely mistaken, Gorgias, on both accounts. This was not my doing, nor could it be. But it was my ghost, and I am sorry that I did not attend to it sooner.
Your ghost. Why should I believe you?
You know he would not lie to us.
Indeed, I would not. However, if you must base your belief on more sound assurance, observe this cup he left with me. Do either of you recognize the insignia?
No.
Yes. This is the emblem of the late ruling family of Denmark. I marvel we had not seen it sooner. His renowned wit, the Danish students, his acquaintance with Horatio, and now this.
You think it was the ghost of Hamlet?
I'm all but sure of it. Is this the cup then? Meant for the prince that instead delivered its twice treacherous draught to the usurper who laid the trap.
After a manner of speaking, yes, though first it took the queen.
That's right.
You will observe that, by some miracle, it contains yet some remnants of that deadly liquor.
I wonder who brought it all this way.
I wonder that he haunted this place at all. That he haunted me. Indeed, he was your ghost.
I could not guess his mind living, and now that he is dead, I am hardly the wiser. Now, I strongly recommend you both return to your quarters. I am, after all, still expecting your translation tomorrow, yes? That which no doubt you have already completed, else you would not have taken this evening off for such an escapade.
Of course. Good night, Master.
Good night.
It appears that we find ourselves still at an impasse. The ghost of Wittenberg. Which of us holds the title? I should hate to have to fight thee for it, friend.
Good night, sweet prince.
No angels for the wayward dead. And thou wilt see me again, I hope. Until then, I leave thee to that part of